Today, my list is not very long unless it grows, which is what happened here. This was my list, and then it grew. So, my list today is, let's see, I want to apply the kill mat. And a very nebulous, I want to prepare for the subfloor. We are getting really close to putting in a subfloor, and I'm eager to get there. I feel like I'm doing something. And there's lots of preparing because I don't really have insulation. There are a lot of options for insulation. I know everybody likes the spray foam, but spray foam's expensive. It's really expensive to kind of have somebody else do it, and while it's not as expensive to do it yourself, it's still pricey. And then there's the chance that you're going to get the mix wrong or screw up some other way and make a mess. So I've been looking at our values and options. I thought about doing wool, Havelock wool, which seems like a great idea, but the R value per inch is like 3. That's not going to cut it. But the R value of the spray foam is 6.5 per inch, something like that. And I was looking at that pink extruded foam board, but its R value is pretty low. It's in the 3 range or something, or 4, or maybe 5. I can't remember. But then I saw the polyisocyanate, whatever you call it, foam board, which has an R value of 6 per inch, which is pretty close to what the spray foam gets. So I'm leaning towards doing at least my floor and walls in the whatever that stuff is, isopolyscyanate, something. What you call it? That's what I'm thinking. I got some of this here. Kill mat. This is the 80 mil mat. So I got some of that, and I got a big old roller, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to cover up the entire floor for maximum sound absorption, or I think I've seen somewhere where 60% coverage is sufficient to deaden the noise. We'll start with some acetone. Good stuff. Whoa! Just poured it all over us. Knew that was going to happen. Open a window. Oh, getting a little high. This is probably something I should have done before I put that other tape on. But at the time, I didn't know I was going to do this. This is, I guess, some kind of adhesive they use to keep the insulation in space. It wouldn't bother me so much if it was just the adhesive, but it's got a lot of fiberglass in it. So it's a little furry. Not quite so furry. I don't know if you can see, but if you listen to this and this, that's just with one piece of kill mat on it. So we're going to put a piece of this on here. Let's see. I'm just going to center it up here. They insist that it's really important that you get this stuff on with no bubbles. But with the discovery that the walls of my bus are aluminum, I'm not terribly worried about rust. Makes me wonder why they didn't build more of this bus out of aluminum. That just goes on like this. And then you take a good heavy roller, and it's got these little bumps on it. So you take your roller, and you roll out all those bumps. I think it's helping. Alright, in theory, this rivet gun we should take this outside and try it. Okay. Here's my rivet gun. It's even got a neat little bucket here that catches the stems. So I'm just going to stick a rivet in here where it needs to be. And we'll put this machine on it and crank it. And here goes one more. Yeah, I like it. Almost done with the walls and ceiling. I got did some singles back there and then I decided to double up. So I got doubles everywhere else. And then I've done a line on the ceiling on both sides. So just need to do the center line, about 8 more sheets on the center. And then I can start on the floor. Well, here we are riding in my somewhat quieter bus. Not nearly as much rattle as I had before. Every time I realize I'm driving a bus, I just grin. I'm going to call this a success. Oh, I'm tired. Today was a day full of work. But I got to drive my bus to the Home Depot and Lowe's. And that was fun. So, I did a thing. That's the thing I did right there. $445. A thing. But to recap, I had decided, based on the R values published, that I was going to use that iso-sign, that stuff. Because they print on there that it's got a R value of 6. And 6 is pretty good. 6 is right up there with the 6 is right up there with the spray foam. Really. So I went to Lowe's this morning because they had a cheap price on that stuff, and I bought me ended up 8 sheets. I had 4 sheets of 1 inch and then 4 sheets of 1/2 inch. And I was going to layer those up and get myself an R value of 9. Well, then to phase 1. 1 inch board is on the ground. And then I bought tongue and groove 3/4 inch plywood. There, look at that. And started working on it this morning. And then I checked on Facebook. Well, this is the fine how do you do. After consultation with the nice folks that are on Schoolie Planet, I've discovered that this wonderful polyiso, foam board, one, loses its R value in the cold. When it gets cold, the R value goes down. That would be the opposite of what I'm looking for. And 2, under pressure, it crumbles. It's going to have quite a bit of pressure on it when I get done. So I just spent a fair chunk on 1.5 inches of this lovely polyiso. And now I'm going to go back to the store and spend another chunk on some extruded foam board. That was not what I wanted to do. So I went to Home Depot, and they had 2-inch. Not 1.5, 2-inch. And I guess I could have gone through the process of buying 1-inch and then buying 1/2 inch and stacking them like I did this morning. But I was about done. I'd had enough of that. So I just bought the 2-inch. Right over that thing.
Ta-da!
If you look down here, right there, that's the stuff right there, 2 inches. And I'd been thinking about going with a 1/2 inch plywood, but I decided that the tongue and groove might be important in keeping my floor together and level. So I got 3/4 inch. Whoa, look at that moving around. There we go. I got 3/4 inch plywood, which is heavy. However, my eldest turned out to be fairly handy. We don't work together too often. That was good. He saved me from making a couple of stupid cuts and helped me manhandle this plywood in. I'd say it went really well. And now, oh, there we go. Look at that floor. I've got floor for days. Real floor. Not clanky metal floor. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to finally have some wood down in the bus. This makes me very happy. Yep. So I'm tired. Well, that little zoom button is just super touchy, isn't it? I'm tired and I'm happy. I got some fiddly cuts and stuff I got to do up here to finish up the front, but those will have to wait. But a good weekend. I'm happy. Breakfast in the bus. Got a little toad in the hole. Little cheese.